Mahal everyone, welcome back again to the Broadway Saiyan YouTube channel. I am your host 40, and we are back with another video on the global version of Dissidia Final Fantasy Opera Omnia. In today's video, we're going to be talking about why Selphie is so good. So I held off on putting this video out because normally I would put out a good or not good video on a new character that's coming out. But Selphie is a character that, one, a lot of folks were waiting for because if you guys play the JP version of Dissidia Opera Omnia, you know how good Selphie is, and she is amazing. She's an amazing character in Opera Omnia, which is why I titled this video "Why You So Good," because she's not a bad character. She's really amazing. And if you guys see a Bruce Lee silhouette, I did that because Bruce Lee was such an amazing martial artist, and I'm like, well, Selphie is such an amazing character in Opera Omnia, so why not put a silhouette? And besides, Selphie is using something that's similar to a nunchaku, like how Bruce Lee did, so why not? And I'm not disrespecting Bruce Lee in any way. I'm a huge Bruce Lee fan, so Bruce Lee fans, please, hopefully you guys don't get triggered by that picture. I just thought it'd be funny to put that there. But anyway, Selphie, why are you so good? So we're gonna get to an overview of Selphie first, and this is mainly for newer players that are just getting into Dissidia Opera Omnia. So Selphie, in a nutshell, is a defensive support that offers healing, Brave Battery, stat buffs, and damage mitigation. And for newer players that don't know what Brave Battery is, essentially it's a character that replenishes or essentially heals a character or the party's brave by a certain amount, and that's usually based on attack stat, initial brave, or max brave. So Selphie has that mechanic. She has great overall stats. She really only lacks in attack and HP, but we'll see. We'll get to it later on as to why that doesn't even really matter because of how amazing her kit is. And she is of the fast speed tier, which helps her out because since she's fast, she has a very high chance of acting first depending on your party setup. And then this one is more for flavor, but Selphie is always cute and happy. And in Final Fantasy VIII, she was always positive and always aimed to inspire everybody because she was just so happy and cute. So I think her kit that they gave her in Opera Omnia really matches her, not only because it was very similar to her kit in Final Fantasy VIII, but overall because, you know, since she's there to inspire, she's there to support us. All right, so her only weakness is what I'm going to be focusing on first, and it might sound weird because I'm trying to tell you guys why she's so good, but I want to focus on this first, and then afterwards we'll get on to why she's so good. So her only weakness is her lack of a strong Brave Shaving ability. She only has a Brave Attack Plus, and this is provided that you have the passive for this, so when she uses her ability Wall, her Brave Attack is converted to Brave Attack Plus for 6 turns, which is a one-hit, non-elemental magic Brave Attack that has a fairly high damage modifier at 200%. It's pretty good, but the thing is, since she only has that, that's really what she's only lacking. All right, so now we're gonna get into why she is really good. So the first thing why she's really good is she has amazing invisible buffs, or some people like to call them auras, that she gives to the party with her actual crystal passives. So her level 50 crystal passive called Life of Trabia grants a 15% increase to initial and max brave to the party as long as her HP is greater than 50%. And now if you have 3 of the Life of Trabia 2-star artifact passives, this increases up to 30%, which is crazy. And because this is an invisible buff or aura, this cannot be dispelled by the enemy target. So that's crazy that she already gives you that. And then her level 54 passive, which is buff attack and boost all, as long as Selphie is buffed, which she will be, because once she uses her wall ability, she's going to buff herself, it grants the entire party a 20% increase to attack and max brave. So that in itself is already crazy for just having, just from her passives alone, especially if you're using a very highly offensive party. And then she also has a high ability count, 6 uses for her Drain and 6 uses for Wall. This is also considering that you do have the passives unlocked, but that's pretty fairly high ability count usage for Selphie. So that's one reason why she's already good. Now let's take a look at her abilities. So Drain, first of all, ignores enemy defense because it's a straight on HP attack. So most abilities are like Brave plus HP attack, where they deal some Brave damage and then they deal the HP attack. Not Selphie's. Selphie's is a straight on HP attack. So she doesn't even need to worry about the enemy's defenses or resistances because she's just going straight for their HP. This ability also grants Selphie Brave based on 30% of her max Brave before she actually deals that HP damage. So she has a self Brave battery to herself before she actually uses this ability. So that's pretty cool already. And then afterwards, she also heals the party for 50% of the HP damage she inflicts, and this caps out to 30% of that character's max HP, taking into consideration that you do have the passives for her weapon and as well as her crystal passives. So that's pretty cool. That's pretty good for healing HP. And then any excess HP healed is converted to Brave. So let's say you use Drain and everybody's HP is at full. Because everybody's HP is at full, it's gonna convert that to Brave. So it's kind of like a mini Brave battery to the party too, which is great. It's amazing, and it protects your party from being Brave broken in the event that the enemy or the target actually acts next turn. And then it grants Selphie Brave regen to herself based on 50% of her initial Brave for 5 turns. So after you use this, the next time Selphie's turn comes around, and let's say she's low on Brave, oh, you don't gotta worry about that because now it's gonna replenish her Brave because of that regen. So that's pretty crazy. So this ability not only sustains the party, but also sustains Selphie herself. And because Drain grants Brave, she's less likely to get broken. So this is one reason why her weakness of having a strong Brave shaving ability is kind of mitigated, because this alone already sustains her Brave. Because most characters in Dissidia Opera Omnia, what they have to do is they have to build their Brave by using a Brave attack, and then afterwards they use an HP attack, or they use an ability that's a combination of a Brave plus HP attack. Selphie doesn't need to worry about that because of her kit. And Drain already proves this. And the next ability we're going to look at as to why she's so good is her Wall ability. So Wall mitigates 30% of Brave damage received and transfers that amount to Selphie's Brave. So it's kind of like Snow Steel Guard, except when you have the passives available for Selphie, she gives that Wall unique buff, right? So because it's already unique, that means it can't get dispelled. So any Brave damage that your party takes, it's mitigated by 30%. Okay, so let's say an enemy deals 100, let's say theoretically they deal 100 Brave damage to a character. It mitigates 30% of that. So what is that? 30. That 30 is transferred to Selphie's Brave. So any Brave damage received is transferred to Selphie by 30%. So it's already building up her Brave. It grants debuff evasion rate to the party, so you're less likely to get debuffed. So a lot of those pesky Malboros for some of the events that we're up against, Selphie got that. It may not be 100% debuff evasion rate, but it's still a debuff evasion rate, so then that way you don't have to worry about debuffs. She also grants a 100% initial Brave up to the party for 6 turns, and that's huge. That means your Brave is starting off at a pretty high significant amount. So in the event that, let's say, you come across a wave of enemies or a boss that's faster than your entire party, well, because of this buff, you have a less likely chance of getting broken. And then it also grants Selphie 50% max Brave up for 6 turns. So she's increasing her max Brave by 50% for 6 turns, which is amazing, meaning she could deal more HP damage. And to top it off, she replenishes everyone's Brave based on 30% of max Brave. So it has a Brave battery mechanic. So she replenishes everyone's Brave, which is crazy. So this ability grants her a decent Brave shaving option also, like we mentioned, changing her Brave attack to Brave attack plus with that 200% Brave damage modifier, which is pretty okay, but again, that weakness is mitigated by all of her abilities. And then Wall gives Selphie another way to sustain her Brave and further decreases her chances of being broken, because it's already mitigating the damage, and then she's getting some of that damage transferred to her Brave. So it's like a win-win situation right there. And then it allows the party to reach max Brave faster with that Brave battery, because once they reach their max Brave faster, guess what? You could deal the maximum amount of HP damage that character deals. So very, very amazing, very, very good for Selphie as a defensive support. So Selphie's amazing defensive kit makes her an amazing choice for any team. So she's a character that's not limited to specific team comps. You can literally slap her on to a team composition and she's gonna essentially carry that team. That's how good she is. And she enables non-meta characters to perform very well. And I have some sample team setups there. The first one is Selphie, Dark Cecil, and Kryle. And I actually want to credit Dekrith and his friend Terelther for this setup. Terelther actually has a video on this, which I will will leave on the comment section below. But essentially, you're using 2 Brave batteries, and we know that Kryle herself, while she's a strong Brave battery, she's not the strongest level 60 character that we have in Global, but because Selphie is so good, she allows both Dark Cecil and Kryle to shine. And then some other setups that I threw in there are Selphie, Snow, and Tidus. Just imagine how much damage is mitigated when Snow's Steel Guard and Selphie's wall is up. And then you have Tidus there just for debuffs to increase damage. And then Selphie, Warrior of Light, and Cloud. Just think about it. Selphie's wall combined with Warrior of Light shield, and then you have Cloud for the launch because you have Selphie providing Brave. So when Cloud unleashes his finishing touch, as long as you set it up correctly, you're dealing a massive amount of HP damage. And then we have Selphie, Edge, and Shadow. I put that in there because I really like ninjas, and I feel like our current 3 ninjas are a bit overshadowed, so definitely Selphie could help both Edge and Shadow out. And then afterwards, the last party setup is Selphie, Shantoto, and Alice. Shantoto, obviously you want to have her EX, which helps Alice deal more damage, and then Selphie is there to make sure that Shantoto and Alice survive. But those are some sample team setups. So hopefully this video helps you guys out, especially newer players, as to whether or not you should be building Selphie and to understanding why she's so good. And this character is going to last you for quite a while. And the reason why I say that is because obviously as the game progresses, we're going to be seeing stronger characters released. We're going to be seeing some crazy damage from, you know, future characters that we're going to be getting later on. And Selphie may start to fall off from her usability, but because she is so good with her defensive kit, let's say like you're pulling for a future character and you are unlucky and you don't get their weapons. Well, hey, guess what? You could still put Selphie on your team and she will still be a valuable member because of what she can do. So she is a character that I highly recommend players to build up. Right now, she only has a 50 and 35 CP. Thank God she doesn't have her EX yet, but she doesn't even really need it because she's already so good as it is. So this is going to be my video on why Selphie is so good. You guys should build her up. She is amazing. Unless you're not a big fan of Selphie, which is probably that's probably the only reason why I can think of why you wouldn't want to build her up. She's highly recommended to build up. She's going to be serving as a very valuable party member for the future of Global Opera Omnia. Alright guys, well this is for the Broadway Saiyan. I had a lot of fun making this video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Hopefully it helped you guys out. Stay tuned for the next one, and mahal everyone.